Hi, in this video, we're gonna be working on fractions in chapter 2, and this is the last video in section 1. All right, and so in this video, we want to talk about multiples of whole numbers. All right, and I do have an important definition here, but we're not gonna think about it yet. We're gonna just kind of develop the concepts in it. All right, so if I look at a number 9 and I want to list the multiples, so that would be 9, and 9 times 2 is 18, 9 times 3 is 27, 9 times 4 is 36. And I took the liberty to go ahead and list out all the multiples of 9. I think I got to 180. 9 times 20 is 180, so it must be about 20 numbers there. All right. And now I also want to list the multiples of 15. So maybe, give that a shot. You can look down or you can look up. 15 times 1 is 15. 15 times 2 is 30. And I continue listing the multiples of 15 here all the way up to, 180. All right. So let's go ahead now and make a list of what multiples are common to both sets, okay? So I want to make, I just want to list here the common multiples. So I want to find, so that'll be numbers that are in each of these lists. So I'm looking through and I'm 9, 18, 27, 36, 45. So I note the 45 is in both of them. So this isn't going to be a complete list because neither of the multiples were a complete list either. Okay, so just looking through the numbers, I see 90 appears in both lists. So there's 90. And then continuing through, I'm looking for stuff that's in both lists, and I see the 180. And, just how I had these 3 dots indicating the lists go on and on. I could also put the 3 dots here because I think this list also can continue to go on, but here's the beginning of the list of common multiples of 9 and 15. So one of the things we have to do in fractions is find the least of the smallest of that list, right? So the 45 is the smallest number in this list, and that makes it the least of this list, the least common multiple is the smallest in that list. Is 45. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at this definition, which I had written out here. Definition, which is important in our study of fractions, least common multiple of 2 or more whole numbers is the smallest non-zero whole number that is a multiple of each number. So it is this, we look at the list of the multiples, and then we take the smallest of that. Okay, so that's just what we did. All right, so let's go through another example. Let's find the least common multiple of 4. Oh, actually, we're going to go ahead and find a systematic way, a little faster way to find the least common multiple that doesn't require that big long list. So it's a shortcut, and we'll need that. Okay, so to find the least common multiple in your textbook, okay, so to find the least common multiple in your textbook on page 88, we're going to find the prime factorization of each of the numbers and multiply these prime factors using each factor and the greatest number of times it occurs in any of the factorizations. Okay, so least common multiple, LCM, least common multiple. Okay, to find them, we have a 3-step process. Find the prime factor each number. identify the prime factors that appear in each, so list the prime factors. Of each. So we're going to use probably a tree would be how I would normally approach this, some kind of factorization tree, and then list the prime factors, and then multiply the prime factors together. The number of times each occurs. I'll just show you what that means, times each. Okay, so let's find the least common multiple of 8 and 12. All right, so what we're going to start this problem with is to get a prime factorization of each of these numbers. Okay, so we factor 8 into the smallest prime numbers 2 when it goes in, 2 and 4, and then 2 and 2. So we see that 8 is equal to 2 raised to the power 3. And over here, we're going to do the same factorization with 12, starting with the smallest prime factor and finding the larger ones as we go. And so 12 is equal to raised to the power 2 times 3. And by the way, that 3 is actually 3 to the power 1. So I'm going to pop it up there for us for now. All right. And so to find the least common multiple of 8 and 12, we want to write down all of the prime factors in both numbers. And I see 2s and 3s. And the exponent that I'm going to raise each of those prime factors to is going to be the largest that occurs in those prime factorizations. So 2 is raised to the power 3 in the first factorization and to the power 2 in the second factorization. So let's grab the 3 because it's bigger. And the 3 is raised to the biggest number is 1. So this is my least common multiple. Let's multiply it out and see what we get. 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. That's 4 times 6, or 24. So 24 is the least common multiple. Of 8 and 12, notice that 8 goes into 24 3 times, 12 goes into 24 2 times. So they both are 24 is a multiple of both of them. All right. One more example of a least common multiple. If you're all set and you get it, then maybe you don't need to hang for the next example, but I do want to just offer one more example here. Maybe I'll go back to the notes. I haven't been really following them. I've been following the textbook though, so it's pretty much inconsistent. It is very consistent with the notes. So we can come here and all right, find the least common multiple of 3 numbers, 4, 6, and 18. Okay, so we're going to start by getting a prime factorization. So I'm going to do that with a tree for each of the numbers. All right, so go ahead, and I think 18 will be a little more interesting. Have at least one more layer of numbers on it. Okay, so we have 4 is 2 raised to the power 2. 6 is 2 raised to the power 3. I'm sorry, 6 is 2 times 3, both to the 1 power, and 18 is 2 times 3 times 3. Okay, so then what we're going to do is we're going to make a list of the prime factors that are in all of them, and the prime factors are 2. I'm going to put a little box up here for my exponent. and 3. That's all we got. And I look and I find the biggest exponent on the 2 is a 2. And the biggest exponent on the 3 is a 2. And so my least common multiple is going to be this number, which is 2 times 2 is 4, and 3 times 3 is 9, and that's 36. So notice that 36 is a multiple of 4. 4 times 9 is 36. 36 is a multiple of 6. 6 times 6 is 36. And 36 is a multiple of 18. 18 times 2 is 36. And it is the smallest number that has that property. All right, I'll see you in the next video.